What up guys, in today's video I'm going to be talking about Floyd Money Mayweather and why I feel he is T.B.E, the best ever of this generation. Let me break it down to you. Floyd Mayweather, every opponent, every person he faced in the ring, he beat them. He made it look so easy. He beat him with intelligence, he beat him with skill, he beat him with defense. He was just so good at what he did. If you looked at the fight against Oscar De La Hoya, Oscar De La Hoya, a younger Oscar De La Hoya, okay, there was an older Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya came at Mayweather with everything. He even fought him at 154 pounds. He made Mayweather go up in weight to face him at 154 pounds. Mayweather is never heard of. He was getting out jabbed. He was getting caught up with big shots, big punches. But Mayweather broke him down systematically and caught up on the rounds and won by decision. If you think about it, Mayweather would suss you out from the first round. How it would work is, if in every fight you look at, he would look at your feet and he would know what you're going to do. In. That was how he would sit back in the corner. By round two, he would come out and he'll say to his corner, I know how to beat this guy. And he'd go out and implement such a great game plan and beat his opponents by a mile. Marcus Maidana came at him with everything. Marcus Maidana caught him with a big shot and cut Mayweather's eye. But Mayweather redeemed himself and beat him. They talk about Manny Pacquiao. You know, Mayweather facing Manny Pacquiao. They might have said it was 5 years later. But guess what? Again, an intelligent businessman knew 5 years on, this fight's going to be even bigger. But people might say, oh, Pacquiao weren't the same. Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez. That was still Pacquiao. A champion still of Pacquiao that was still beating up every contender that came in. And Mayweather beat Pacquiao to show he's the best fighter of this generation. They talk about Pacquiao fighting, giving fans what they want. But Floyd Mayweather, on the other hand, has also done that. It's very unfair to not give him credit for what he's achieved in boxing. I told you I'm one of them guys. I look at boxing and I think I have utmost admiration and appreciation for what these guys do and what Floyd Mayweather does and how easy he makes it look in the ring. There's only destined, good, blessed fighters that can do that, and Floyd Mayweather is one of them. He basically faced everyone in the ring. He even got locked up, but that mentality of tough times don't last, tough people do. He came out and he beat every contender. He beat Robert Guerrero after coming out of prison. Before that, he fought Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto came at everything. He even made Mayweather's nose bleed, and that was something that Mayweather's never had in his whole career. But he was smiling away at the cameras, looking at him like, this ain't going to beat me, let's do it. So I got to give him his credit. What he does in the ring is something special. And now, people got to understand, it's not great taking punishment. People might say, fans might say, it's a big thing, he should be taking shots, he should be taking more risks. But risks is not something that is gonna, for the better of the fans, yeah. But you got to appreciate boxing as a sport. It's the art of hitting someone without being hit. And Floyd Mayweather did that from the tee. He basically broke it down and beat his opponents in that way. Now we'll touch upon Manny Pacquiao and the Floyd Mayweather fight. If you looked at that, Floyd Mayweather basically beat Pacquiao at everything Pacquiao threw at him, and Mayweather did his beautiful defense. Tucked up, shoulder roll, counted him. When he fought Canelo Alvarez as well, he did the similar thing. But with Pacquiao, one thing what impressed me about Mayweather in that fight was the fact that even when he was on the ropes and Pacquiao was charging at him, yes, people might say, oh, well, Pacquiao was injured, but Pacquiao never brought that up. In the whole fight before that, the pre-build-up, he never mentioned it once, apart from, there were stories that he mentioned it to the New York, the Athletic State Commission in Las Vegas, and those guys knew about it, but they didn't let Pacquiao take the shot. But regardless of that, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how Mayweather systematically beat Manny Pacquiao. Mayweather did it with true intelligence and skill. He countered him with everything. He did the shoulder roll. Think about it. Manny Pacquiao's rolled something like 1,200 punches a fight or something stupid, they say. He's got a very high work rate. And against Mayweather, he didn't even land anything like that, or didn't even touch him upon that. So for me, Mayweather is great, and I just feel, the credit that he should get. he should get big credit for what he is, because there's no other fighter that's going to really come into this era now and do the numbers that Mayweather does and bring the intelligence and how smart he is in the ring. Nobody's ever going to come in and bring that. So, it's just my little video basically of me, why I believe Mayweather, for me is TBE. You also look at, they might say the comparisons now. Okay, we'll touch up upon the comparisons with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. When Manny Pacquiao fought Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao did it at 145 pounds catch weight. Oscar De La Hoya never made that weight for 12 years in his career. His last fight was against Arturo Gatti, and that was 12 years before that, and he couldn't make the weight division, right? Pacquiao fought him and beat him, but De La Hoya was a shell of himself. He wasn't the same. The same way when Mayweather beat De La Hoya, Floyd had to go up in weight. Floyd had to do 154 pounds. Floyd Mayweather also had to do, Oscar De La Hoya chose the gloves. Oscar De La Hoya chose the ring. So he didn't get all those luxuries, to be the A side. It was the B side of the fight. When Pacquiao fought Miguel Cotto, it was at a catch weight. Mayweather beat Miguel Cotto at 154 pounds, the junior middleweight, and it was for the WBA title. So the comparisons are there already. Pacquiao fought a lot of catch weights, whereas Mayweather beat him at the actual weight. They talk about, Marquez being at a catch weight. But you got to understand one thing. Wasn't it Marquez who knocked out Pacquiao? But yet Marquez fought Mayweather and couldn't touch him. And Mayweather just absolutely bedazzled him with speed, counter punches. And Marquez is meant to be the counter puncher, and he got counter punched. So for me, the debate itself is Mayweather's always better, and intelligent-wise is a lot more better. For me, people were upset about the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. But I believed, and I also said 5 years before this, I always said Mayweather would beat Manny Pacquiao, because Mayweather is just too skillful and too good for him. He's too good for his own good, basically. That's what I used to say. Even when he beat Canelo Alvarez, it was at a catch weight, but still, Canelo Alvarez was massive in the fight. And he came at Mayweather, and Mayweather just, was standing in front of him, doing the shoulder roll and landing counter punches and jabbing him. It was a beautiful performance and a masterclass performance. To be honest with you, all I'm basically doing this video today is just to let you know how I feel about Floyd. And, why I believe he's TBE. But let me know what you guys think anyway. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube page, T.B.E Boxing TV. Thank you.